Evening to everybody, and I welcome you all on behalf of Simi Foundation for the very first webinar that we are conducting. So, talking about Simi Foundation, it was established this year in March, and today we have our co-founder Nitesh Kumar over here. So, the main objective of this foundation was to develop a society wherein there is equal access to education to everybody. Not just that, we have many other different campaigns running, like we have Olympiad exams going on, we have different medical campaigns, we have sports campaigns going on. Talking about our guest and the chief guest speaker today, Keval Hiren Kaka. He is a professional mountaineer and he started his professional career in climbing by organizing a few summits like Mount Dio Tiba and Mount Hanuman Tiba, and he submitted many other mountains. He became the first Indian to climb two 8,000-meter peaks of Mount Everest and Mount Hotse in just 6 days. He also received a national award for that, the Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award in 2019. He is also the first Indian to climb world's four highest peaks in the shortest span of 3 years. With a small introduction, Keval, I hand it over to you. You can start this talk and continue the webinar from here. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
hi. Thank you so much, Dwi, for this warm introduction, and thank you so much, everybody, for having me here. Thank you, Simi Foundation, for doing such a great job, and I wish you all the luck in future that you touch many lives and help many people. Um, so I would like to start saying that dreams, they play a very important role. Um you start dreaming and then you start working hard. So I really dreamed hard when I was in my seventh grade. My parents, they just told me, like, okay, what you'll do at home in your vacation. So I just said, play with friends. That's what we do, just roam around and maybe play cricket or something. So they just said, why not go to the nature, why not go to the mountains and learn something. You will definitely like experience at least something. So I said, okay, I've never been out, and being in Mumbai, in the busiest city, let's try something different. So I was in my seventh grade. They enrolled me for a trek to Chandrakhani Pass, which is in Manali. 10,500 feet. I've never been there. Staying at sea level, I don't know how will my body react. But one thing was sure in my mind, that I was really expecting miracles. I have heard so much about the mountains. I've heard so much about Himalayas and everything. So I was like, okay, let's see. I went, prepared, and like a young kid, saw the mountains, and I was astonished. I was literally blown away by the views, and that is how it changed my life. A small, just that concept or the perception in my mind changed everything for me. I came back. I started exploring, how mountaineering happens and what you have to do. And the first thing that I came to know was it is a very risky thing. You can lose your life. You can meet with an accident. There are so many factors that can affect your health. So how should I proceed? And I was left with nothing. So, and it is a very expensive sport. So when I saw that if you want to climb Everest, the minimum cost of climbing Everest is somewhat around 20 to 25 lakhs. So again, it was a big challenge, a big hurdle, that what to do, how to overcome this. With this thought in mind, I said, okay, no matter what it takes, no matter how it goes, no matter like whatever efforts I need to put, I'll put, but I will get this dream through. And finally, I started working hard, 7 hours of training a day, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, half an hour of yoga, half an hour of meditation. And slowly, steadily, I started enjoying this. Whenever I used to go in the mountains, the first snowfall that you witness is so amazing. You are like, in some winterland, wonderland, and you are like just experiencing this happiness. So many such moments. I've seen people die in the mountains. When I was climbing Everest, there was one guy who almost, was dead. He was unconscious at Camp 4, and I had to get him down, rescue him. So I've seen people die. I've seen the importance of life, and I've seen many dreams shatter. So there was this one climber from Ethiopia. He had to turn around from 100 meters, just 100 meters from the summit, and he could not do anything about it. But what was important is to take that decision, whether to live or to die. So he said, no, I'll come again next year, but I will not risk my life. And he turned around. So I've seen dreams shattered and so many ups and downs in this whole journey. But it was an amazing journey. And one thing that I realized is that, if you're focused, if you are really hardworking, and if you never give up, then things can come true. And so it happened for me that last year I was very fortunate. Last year was the most deadliest season on Everest so far. Almost 13 people died on Everest last year, out of which 4 were Indians, 2 male and 2 female. And so many Indians who had to turn back. So many Indians were injured, suffering from frostbite, ligament issues, fractures, etc. But I was lucky enough to climb 2 mountains, to scale the world's 2 highest mountains, that is Everest, world's highest, and Mount Lhotse, which is the world's 4th highest, in a span of 6 days between. So I was really lucky, and I think all the hard work paid off. So what I would like to convey is that nothing is impossible. All you need is to have some faith, have some patience. If not today, then tomorrow. Slowly or steadily, you will get where you want to reach. But you need to really work hard, and you need to have that patience. And just go for it. Whatever you dream of, start. Because if I would have been standing in front of a mountain, looking at it, and I would have been just thinking that, okay, I want to climb this, but I would have not taken a step ahead, then that would have been not possible. So take your step, take your first step, and slowly things will turn up. So don't wait, till things to come to you, that okay, the opportunities will come, or they will come to me, or what. Just start. If you think you have to move, this is your aim, start moving in that direction. That's what I did. I started training for mountains. Everything, whatever I read was about mountains. My diet was about mountains. My vacations were spent in the mountains. So I completely devoted my 7 years to the mountain. And finally I could achieve this goal. And there were lots of times when I was being tested. In fact, after climbing Everest, I was going to climb Lhotse. So Mount Lhotse, the world's 4th highest mountain. And just below the summit, the last part, when you reach the top 60 meters below, so there is one dead body of a Zek climber who has died in 2012 when he was descending from Lhotse. But his body still lies there. And when you have to climb Lhotse, you have to cross the body and move ahead. So that is really difficult and challenging, that somebody's already dead, his body's half decomposed and lying there, and you have to step on it and go ahead to fulfill your dream. So it is very disturbing. You cannot just imagine what trauma you go through, or how you control your thoughts at that time. You're homesick. You cannot talk to your parents, you cannot talk to your friends, and there is nothing nearby. And you have to tell yourself and motivate yourself, okay, nothing will happen, just keep moving, just keep moving. That thought itself at that time freaks you out. But it is all about focusing. You just have to tell yourself that, okay, just step up, come down, and we are done. So that is what kept me going. And I believe whatever it is, it is never a one man game. May it be mountaineering, may it be real life, may it be your personal or any kind of work that you're doing, it is always a team effort. My team was my parents and my friends. They were always with me. No matter they were not present physically on Everest, but their talks, their advices were always there with me in my mind. So that really helped me a lot. At days, I could not train, while running, I had sore feet. I fell down many times. While cycling, I injured my hamstring, and I, injured my ankle, twisted my leg. So many problems I faced. And the next day, it would have been like, okay, should I continue or not? And I lost my thumb. So if you could see, my half thumb is amputated because of frostbite. I had to ampute my thumb, and that year was very crucial, 2018. And I was not sure whether I would climb again or not. It was so painful for almost 2 to 3 months, no sleep at all. And at night, you have this throbbing feeling in your thumb, that okay, there is some problem and major pain. Still, I could not understand what to do. But my friends and my family, they were always supportive, and they said, if your heart feels that you should go again, you should go to the mountains. And this pushed me a lot. And so I was back. I was about to climb Everest in 2018, but due to the